Hi everyone, good day. Welcome to PlatformCon 2026 and welcome to my session. We're going to be talking about how to make accessibility observable, and our agenda for today is going to cover what accessibility is, how accessibility testing is done, the problem with the current approach to accessibility testing, what observability is, what it means to make observability, what it means to make accessibility observable, and what this looks like in practice. So, but before that, a bit of introduction. I'm Victoria Nduka. That's me. I'm a cloud engineer transitioning from a UX design background, so that explains my interest in accessibility. I write and speak about things that I'm working on or that interest me. Case in point, this talk. And I have a morbid fear of snakes, lizards, skinks, reptiles in general. And I'm a big fan of the Lincoln Lawyer series, big fan of Mickey Holler, and I'm waiting for season 5 of the series. If you'd like to learn more about my work, that's my website, victoriandoka.com. You'd find me there. So now let's dive into our main business for the day. What is accessibility? I'm sure a couple of us are very familiar with this symbol. It's a person using a wheelchair. And we usually see this in buildings. And it indicates that when we see this, it indicates that a building is accessible to people who use wheelchairs. So this is just one aspect of accessibility. What does accessibility really mean? Accessibility is the design of products, devices, services, or environments to be usable by everyone. Keywords usable by everyone, including people with disabilities. So for this talk, we're going to focus on the digital products, not devices, environments, but many digital products. So that means that we want to make our products accessible to people with disabilities, especially. So how do we do that? We test the same way we do unit testing to be sure that all the components are working well. We also test for accessibility to be sure that people with disabilities can use our website. So how is accessibility testing typically done? There are automated tools that make the work a bit easier for us. AskScore, Google Lighthouse, some of those tools. So those tools simulate how users with disabilities would use our website and then flag issues that they are more likely to struggle with so that we can then go fix those issues. Then these accessibility tools don't always capture all the issues with our website, all the accessibility issues with our websites. So it is best practice to follow up with manual checks or augment, do both of them together. Manual checks means that you ideally get users with disabilities to use your site the way they would naturally use them with the tools that they would naturally use, like screen readers or keyboard tabs, whatever tools that they use. And then you also need to document the results of this test. Some of these automated tools come have inbuilt reporting capabilities. So all you have to do is download the reports that usually come as PDFs or logs, and then you also document the manual checks too. But the problem with this approach is that it leaves you with static reports. So you have reports for your automated test, you have reports for your manual test sitting differently and not together. And most times people don't usually go back to read those reports. Some organizations who would like to go um, a step further could do before and after audits. They do the first audit, then make accessibility changes, and then do another audit to see the improvements. So they have a before snapshot and after snapshot. But the thing is, you still have just two separate audits and two separate reports. Second, it doesn't give you visibility over time. It doesn't tell you how well you are doing your accessibility journey, whether you're improving or whether you're introducing regressions later on. So it just gives you a snapshot of your accessibility standing at a particular point in time, not how you're progressing over time. And then it makes you treat accessibility um, monitoring as a compliance event. So you only do it just to fulfill compliance regulations or responsibilities. But accessibility is not something that evolves. We currently are at the weaker 2.2 standards. As of last year, if I remember correctly, we are using 2.1. So that's how quickly these web standards are evolving or improving, and we want to match the pace. We don't want to be left behind. So, what if we could make accessibility observable? Now, what does that mean? What is observable? What is actual observability? So, for some of us are familiar with this, but for those of us who aren't, observability is the ability to understand a system's internal state or condition solely by analyzing its external outputs, such as logs, metrics, and traces. Lots of grammar. So, what this basically means is um, the software that we use, the applications that we use, they look simple, but under the hood, there are very many different smaller services working together to create that seamless user experience that we see. And engineers need a way to look into the applications to be sure that everything is working the way they're supposed to. When there are issues, that they are aware of those issues before they begin to affect the users. So how now they can't always tear apart the applications to see what it's like a black box. You can't see what's happening inside. So how do you know? You monitor the outputs. An analogy I like to use is the human body. I like to compare the observability to the human body because it's just as complex as the systems that we're monitoring. So our body is opaque. We can't see through to know what's happening inside. Although there are technologies now like X-rays that let us look through, but that's by the way. Anyway, opaque body, you can't see what's going on within. But by monitoring the output of the body, you can tell when there's an issue or not. Example of that output is our temperature. So we have the normal body temperature that when you're within that range, you know that all is fine. But once you exceed that, you begin to heat up, you know that something's wrong. You should go see a doctor. So the same way, that's exactly how observability works. So how do we make accessibility observable? Or what do we need to make accessibility observable? The same three things that you need for any observability practice. You need a way to collect the data, you need a way to store this data or where this data will live. You also need a way to make sense of it, visualize it. And thank God, observability technology has evolved so much that we already have tools or a means to accomplish or achieve these things. For collection, we have the audit results. That's the accessibility audit results that we've done. We just need them measured consistently and not just one of reports. We have time series databases to store the results of these audits. We have visualization tools like Grafana and also the other open source and non-proprietary solutions out there. So, what does this look like in practice? I have tried this and I can tell you that yes, we can monitor observability over time. We can monitor accessibility over time. And this is what my own mini pilot run looks like. So, for a high level explanation of what my architecture looks like the high level setup, I needed to I run Axco on my website on a daily basis. So I set that up using GitHub Actions so that whenever I made a push to my website repo or at a particular time of the day, the Axco automated to run an accessibility check on my website and then send the results to Grafana Cloud via Graphite. And then I then went ahead to create a dashboard to monitor the important accessibility metrics on Grafana. So this is the final implementation, but before this, I had tried to run it locally, and I had used Prometheus as the data source, the storage backend. But I had issues with continuously collecting the data. Whenever I closed my terminal on my laptop, the data stopped sending. Like I stopped receiving the data, so I had to start afresh. And look, I had to that defeats the entire aim of the continuous monitoring. That I had to switch to Grafana Cloud using Graphite. So that goes to show that there's more than one way to implement this. So you can use whatever tools match your specific use case or whatever tools that you're already using in your organization. So yeah, this is the link to the workflow flow file specifically and to my website repo if you'd like to check out the workflow and see how like how it's put together. Yeah, this is a snapshot of my website. It's a simple web page, three web pages actually. This is the home page, and then there's the about and the works page. So just three web pages made up mostly of text and links. And I created this dashboard immediately after the setup. And at a glance, you can already tell my accessibility standing at that moment. So this is what the report, your static report would ordinarily look like, but now visualized. You can see that the total violations on my website are 43. And there are also violations grouped by page. So out of the three pages I have, the works page has the most number of violations, that is 23. And then you can see this as a graph showing accessibility violations over time. And this is the crux of this is the main aim of collecting accessibility metrics over time. So we can see whether we are making improvements or whether we are regressing. Now, after making accessibility improvements, mostly color contrast changes, you can see that the number of total violations has dropped from 43 to 13. And on the works page, it has dropped from 23 to just 2. These two panels are just showing the numbers, but if you really want to see graphically, if you really want to see graphically how these changes look like, what changes look like over time, the graph gives us a better picture of that. You can see these green dots that indicates that matches for like it indicates what the number of accessibility issues are on the works page, and you can see that it has dropped significantly from about 23 here to less than 5. You can see the very steep drop. Same for the home page. And so this is what we would like to do. If this isn't enough, we can also see from the violations by severity that there is this drop in the number of serious accessibility issues, and it's dropped by 71.4%, which is a good thing. So this is a link to the dashboard or a QR code that you can scan to view the dashboard on devices. I had asked what if we could make accessibility observable. Now we can see that that's possible. So it's not a question of whether accessibility can be made observable. We have the tools, we have the data. The question now is, can we treat accessibility like performance? Can we give it the priority that it deserves? Let's start there. Most SREs are familiar with the four golden signals: latency, error, traffic, saturation. But today I'd like to add one more signal to the mix, and that is accessibility. And then in this context, it will be the rate at which users with disabilities can successfully interact with our software or our systems. So yeah, as we go about our day today, as we go back to organizations or go on to listen to the rest of the talk today, these are a few things that I'd like for us to keep in mind. Try to audit when you go back to organizations. Try to audit your current processes. If you aren't already tracking accessibility or doing accessibility checks, maybe you should start doing that to improve the experience, not just for a particular set of users, but for every user of your product. If you are just collecting individual reports, try to monitor continuously. Try to test what I've just done on a small part of a project. If you're a bit skeptical about how this was going to play out for your organization, you can run a pilot test like I did on your website, personal website, or a small part of a project first. Share it with other members of your team. Share this talk with them. Share the pilot run that you've done, and see if you can build from there, expand from there to expand to the other areas of the project too. And I'm can confidently tell you that you're going to see benefits in a very short while of your implementing this. So that's the all I have to share today, and I hope that we've learned a thing or two about how to make accessibility observable in different organizations to improve the user experience, not just for a particular set of users, but for all of our users. So thank you very much for listening to my talk, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.